Hi, it's Michael Pinkus, the Grape Guy from michaelpinkuswinereview.com. And let me tell you something, I knew that the 2012 Reds were going to be really good wines. I just knew it. And I also knew that wines that were Cabernet Sauvignon or Cabernet Sauvignon based were also going to be excellent wines. It was the kind of vintage where you really wanted to step it up with Cabernet Sauvignon because we don't always get great Cabernet Sauvignon here in Ontario. 2012 was that vintage. So this next wine that I'm going to tell you about, I'm not surprised by it, but I am totally impressed. And it is the Peller Estates 2012 Private Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon. And let me tell you something, the nose is what's going to kind of lure you in there. If you like to sit and you like to sniff on your wines, this one will do it for you. Loads of raspberry, blackberry, chocolate, cassis, and a sweet mix of vanilla oak. When I tasted this wine for the first time, it was still quite young, and it was just poured into the glass. So that's what I first got out of it. A little bit later on, say about half an hour, 45 minutes, as I was just letting it settle into the glass, there was a nice leathery smokiness that also came out. So there was lots going on the nose. The palate is robust and it's got plenty of gritty tannins. But you're going to have to wait for this wine to open up. Again, I'm going to say it's quite young. It's tight. It's not quite ready unless you're prepared to decant or get it into a nice big glass and spend the evening with it. It needs some time. But you're going to find some red and some dark fruit peeking their way through those gritty tannins and some of that oakiness that is in there. But it's all coming. Don't worry, it'll get there. It's quite young again, but you're going to also find some tobacco, some blueberry, and some black currants currently. But as I said, it's going to develop into something you're really going to want to deal with in years to come. Easily a decade ahead of this wine, or if not more. It's going to be a really good one in 5 years easily. So what I would do is I would pick a few up. I would buy a bunch, and I would pick one out of the cellar every so often and give it a shot and see how it develops. You won't be disappointed. That's the Peller Estates 2012 Private Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon, $21.95. So not a huge wallet buster, and I give it 4+ stars out of 5. I'm Michael Pinkus, the Grape Guy for michaelpinkuswinereview.com. Join me again next week when we'll look at another great bottle of Ontario wine.